Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at. We are here for morning musings. I'm here with Tara Stryker from TSW Life Coaching, and we are here just to talk about whatever kind of comes up. What has been coming to the surface lately? I feel I not just lately, I think it's an everyday thing for many people, but it has been more prominent now and is fear and what that looks like. What is fear and what it looks like, what it shows up as is a good way of saying that. So, good morning, Tara.
Good morning. Um, I feel like, yeah, when we were talking about it, I feel like just the energetics of fear, because people have a cultural belief that fear is like standing at the top of a mountain or like afraid of heights or things like that, or I'm afraid of spiders, or they think of it in those terms. But fear is so much bigger than that.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like the energetics of fear, I think people just don't understand.
Yeah. And I feel it takes you out of that space where you are ready to step into something, and it just stops movement completely. It makes you make a choice that you think is for your betterment, but yet it is maybe called ego. It could be, where you don't step into something or move towards something because you worry, or like you had mentioned earlier about worry, things like that.
Yeah. Um, so I know when we were talking before, and then we said we had to stop talking until we started recording. Um, like I hear people say, "Well, I'm not in fear, but I'm worried that." Okay, worry is fear, you know, or I'm not in fear, but I'm concerned that. Okay, that's fear. Just you're giving it another name.
Yeah.
And I think that's because of our cultural conditioning. Like I said, we think of fear as like fear of water or fear of jumping off, like high buildings or, stuff like that. That's fear. But so is worry. So is concern. So is doubt. All of that is fear.
Yeah. And so is, worried about people, what they think of you. That's fear, not stepping into your path because someone might not believe in you.
Mhm.
Fear. Like fear is, I feel fear is a huge umbrella
Yeah.
of everything that kind of fits underneath it. But the root of all these things is the fear. Yeah. So it's okay. So I'm going to go a step further. How do we discover what is fear and what is worry, or what is right? You know what I mean? Not worry. Worry wasn't the right choice of words, but how do we decipher what is fear?
Well, I think fear, like you said, is just so huge. I think so many people don't identify with it because they think they're not in it. But like I said, even those two words or three words, it is fear. So for me, the other side of fear is love. It's really just love. And so is this coming from love or is this coming from fear? So
Yeah.
like you talked about, I'm worried about someone. Even that is sending them fear energy, which is you're harming them technically
Yeah.
because it's the same thing as, yeah, sending them negative energy because you're sending that fear energy to them. So worrying about someone is fear and it's sending them that negative energy or that, yeah, I don't like negative either because it is what it is. But do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
sending them not good energy. It's not sending them healing energy. Let's say
That's
that.
right. Yeah, exactly. And like I love that you said love is the opposite. I love that because why not say, you know what? I love that I am concerned. I'm still going to do it, right? I love that I have this feeling of worry, but I'm still going to step into it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it changes that energy out of, yes, you labeled that you're worried 100%, but now I can still step forward in that worry, right?
Yep.
Um, I love that.
Yeah. And absolutely, because it's not in society, I think we're taught, face your fears, go in the water or jump off the bridge or whatever it may be. The thing is we are not, um, that's not helpful for a lot of people, especially when we're talking more internal stuff. It's like, uh, allowing yourself to feel the fear is not easy. And it is about it's about loving yourself enough to feel the fear, but to actually let it take root in you so that it can move through you and out. So many times, like I said, when people face their fear, they push themselves to do it, but they don't do it in a healthy way. So they are actually reinforcing the fear, if that or that
Yeah.
energy. Does that make sense? Like I'm trying to make sense because it's
Yeah.
kind of very circular.
Yeah, it is. And it goes deep, right? Because like you said, half the time we don't even realize that it is an actual fear that we are, you know, being in that energy of.
Yeah.
And it's hard to it's like you see yourself a certain way and someone sees you a certain way. I mean, we only see what we can see where we resonate from, but it's like, where am I going with this? um, you only see what you can see, right? It's not fear. Honestly, I'm just worried. It's not fear, but we also have to go deeper into that worry. What is the creation of that worry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fear of, right? Um, and I feel like there's a space in here that's the conditioning of being in control, right? I'm going to worry because now I don't have any control.
Mm-hmm. And that's the fear at the core of it, is that I don't have control. And even when we talk about worrying about other people or concerned about other people, um, I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, if we energetically shifted to, again, because what we're really saying, the subtitle to the universe is, which is the empath unhealthy, is the subtitle to the universe is this person can't handle what they've chosen as a soul, so I need to be worried about it, or I need to fix it in some way. And that's kind of what we're saying, and that's the energy we're sending to them. Whereas if we turned it around and went, I know that this person is completely capable of handling that. I am sending them love energy to support and uplifting them rather than worrying about them.
Yep.
And I know that people think that they are doing good when they worry or are concerned, and they think that they're the top of their game because they're observing everything. Trauma response, sorry to say. Um, but that's that control, like you said. It's that fear of being out of control. So, well, I'm worried because I can't control it all. Guess what? You can't control anything.
That's right. And taking it on as your own is putting your, like you said, the trauma response, right? Taking it on as your own and being in a space of I can fix this, right? And that's not our responsibility either.
No. And that's why, like I said, with when that's the opposite for me is love. And we were talking about this too as a possible topic, so it came up anyhow. But that's the difference when I'm tuning into myself too. Are the messages coming from fear that I assume or think are coming from spirit? Like when I get a information coming in, is it coming from fear or is it coming from love? Because for me, if it's coming from fear, it's not coming from spirit, because that's never from fear.
That's right.
Even if the message is maybe you need to take better care of yourself or something like that. That's the message, and it's coming from love, not, oh my God, like
Yeah. Yeah.
something, so
Yeah.
whatever.
And I think fear steps in when we are not in true alignment. We can step into something because it's an alignment, but the fear takes you out of alignment for you not to step into something that is on your path, that is bringing you to something that is better on the other side once we can break through that fear pattern.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I say doubt is fear too. And that's that I get it. I live a lot. That's my nemesis. No, that is my new friend
Yeah.
is doubt, is that I need to, again, I'm not going to fight it anymore. I'm just going to go, thank you
Yeah.
for being loving and showing up. Not my truth anymore. Not my truth anymore.
Yeah.
And letting that go. But again, that's the trying to control rather than
Yeah.
be with.
Yeah. And for me, like I've had to do some major big fear, stepping into fear in my life. Um, and man, I tell you, if I would not have stepped past it, I would not be who I am today in any means at all. But once you start pushing that energy away and really giving it, like you said, I love myself enough to step away or to step into, or whatever that, however it fits in everyone's life. But once you can start doing that, you start really recognizing what is fear and what is holding you back, because fear is self-sabotaging. It truly is. We self-sabotage so much because of fear. What if this happens to me again and I get hurt? What if, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
it's all the doubt, like you said, the worry, the doubt, all of those things.
Absolutely. And it's about working with it and working through it rather than just making yourself go through it. Because all you're doing if you push yourself through it is you're causing yourself more fear. And it's going to pop up in another way, or it's going to be out of alignment, like you said. Like, even pushing yourself to work through the fear, it's about having the space for it. For me anyhow, it's about having the space for it, addressing it and letting it go so that it's not a fear within me anymore. Which can take work, because some of our fears, especially when they are deeply rooted, um, or ancestrally rooted, or all of that, like I think of the witch moon and stuff like that, where there's fear or doubt about stepping into our powers because we were burned for it quite literally before, or we were persecuted for it and things like that. And so I think a lot of times, just to go, oh, well, I'm just going to do it. You're still doing it with fear energy, not love.
Yeah,
And it's causing yourself probably more harm. You're moving backwards because you're just making yourself do something that you're not acknowledging and allowing to release from you.
that's
If
right.
that
Yeah. And we can step into something, like, and still be worried until we discover that we don't need to be worried, right? Till we discover to let go of the control. We can still step in and say, you know what, I give it love. I'm still going to do this. I am freaking scared, but I'm going to give it love, and I'm going to see if I can push through the fear. And then you realize that, that really wasn't anything,
Yeah,
right? It really,
absolutely. And sorry, I cut you off.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's stepping into it with, I love myself more, or I know I'm more than this fear is. And that's doing it from love again, rather than, well, I'm just gonna make myself do it. Because
Yeah.
that's doing it from a different energy, that's fighting it.
Yeah.
And not honoring it and not allowing it, I guess is what I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But you learn through those patterns, then you can recognize it so much easier. It's no different than your shadow, right? You learn from, oh, this is my shadow. Now I know where I need to go to do my, internal work. Same thing, the fear, right?
Hmm.
And it's such a, fear is a heavy energy, but it is such a prominent energy where it seems to be, it's always in the forefront. It seems to win most of the time. I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to call it that, but it's until you can let it go, until you can get that unconditioning, or that conditioning to be worked through, that control to be worked through. Um, then all of a sudden that release starts happening, and then you start recognizing, oh, wait a minute, is this fear or is this alignment? Right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I agree. It's so prominent and it's so, we are fed it daily, 1,000 million times a day in our society. They, I don't know who they are, and I'm not, going to put that out there,
Yep.
but they try to keep us in fear. Our society keeps us in fear. And I know I've said it, I think, on here before, but I say it all the time. Fear is like a cookie monster. It's like once it starts and it grabs hold, I feel like I'm just like, more fear, more fear. And
Yep.
I look for things to be fearful about. And it just wants to feed itself and grow and grow and grow. And that's so easy to find. And
Oh,
so that's why I think so many people are in so much worry or concern.
yeah. Anytime you say what if, that's fear, right? What if I say how I really feel? What if, right?
Yeah.
That is a big space too. It's that conditioning, right? So now I'm not going to speak. So I'm going to be sitting in fear of what I'm going to say, what people think of me. We're moving into being more authentic, um, in who we are, and following that. It takes time. It takes a lot of internal work, to step into who we truly are and not worry. That's that word again. Not worry about how people feel, right? It is stepping through that in honoring, loving ourselves enough to
Hmm.
know that we can do what is on our heart.
Absolutely. And that's where I think we're all being called to, is to really step into that alignment, which is bringing up a lot of fear.
Yeah.
And there's so many, because I was going to say a lot of us project it onto others, and things like that. So it's so prominent and it's so, like you said, such a big part of what, yeah, it's shadow work, it's all of it. It's such a big part of it.
Yep. And right now, so many are struggling. So many people are having a hard time, because we're letting go of this conditioning. We're letting go of fear. We're letting go of worry. We're letting go of doubt. We're trying to navigate how we need to, from an energetic level, from an internal space. And it's really hard. And 2026, I feel, is going to be a year of, you know, taking down those aspects to be more authentic. And now where do we plant the seeds to allow that to grow, so we're not in fear, so we're not in control, so we're right.
Hmm.
And the more we struggle to let that fear go or work through it, however we need to, everyone is an individual, um until that happens, it's really hard to be who we need to be authentically.
Yep. And I think fear is something that we have to face constantly. And every time we do step into a new version of ourselves, fear is going to come up. It's just natural.
Yep.
It's going to come up in the form of doubt, in the form of concern, in the form of what if, and the what if being the negative, what if this is not okay with. Um, and that's why I say it's about allowing that to move through rather than fighting it. Because as soon as you fight it and it's like, well, shut up, I'm not going to listen, then it fights back and it gets bigger and bigger. It's like that tantruming child, if you just scream at it and push through it, it's going to get louder and louder and louder. And I think that's where a lot of people are at right now, is that it's screaming pretty freaking loud, and it's bringing out a whole lot within our bodies and within our minds, and definitely our souls too.
Yep. It's all resistance, right? And like you
Yeah.
said, if you don't give it love, and you just it's resistance, and it's like it's got to be torn down, and it has to be like, um replanted, the way we need ourselves to navigate.
I love that you did that because that's exactly it. When we try to fight it, we are fighting it from fear as well.
Mhm.
And so, um, by allowing it and accepting it and just letting it flow through us, then and the visual I got when you said that is so beautiful was we actually like give it back to, Mother Earth just as energy, not as it, because she doesn't care if it's negative or positive. It's just energy. And that's literally like the energy moving back to plant the seed. And so I just see that as just a beautiful little cycle of when we allow, we release it, and
Yeah.
that plants the new seed.
Yeah. I love that. I'm in fear, I'm in worry. Oh, I'm going to plant another seed. I love that. That's so
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
that's the visual I got. And it's
Yeah.
from what you said.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Team
I love
effort
it.
there.
Yeah. But yeah, fear, there's a lot. Fear, oh, it's so big. It's like it's bigger than, like I said, it's that big umbrella. It's big. And just asking ourselves, okay, am I moving from fear? Am I moving, this label of worry, doubt, whatever, not trusting, all of the things? It's all fear, right? And how do you get into trust if you're in fear? You can't have both sides at the same time. You have to either be in trust or in fear and being in control, right?
Yep,
It's
absolutely.
yeah.
Surrender, surrender, surrender.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, the other thing that I think is really interesting is that if we strictly just took it from the body, fear and excitement feel the same in the body. And so it's I think a lot of times for me anyhow, I'll assume it's fear when it's actually excitement because I'm stepping into alignment. But my body and the story I come up with is it's fear, but it's alignment. And my soul's like, yay!
yeah,
But I'm feeling it because my body's been so conditioned to feel that when it feels those feelings that I'm in danger. And I've been programmed, my body's been programmed to go, okay, when my heart races or I start shaking or vibrating, that's fear. Oh my God. And so then it goes right into that story or try to create a story about what the fear
yeah,
is. But if I actually sit with it for a minute and go, no, actually I'm excited. And but it feels very same in the body. And so it's where the mind takes over and makes the story about it if I
yeah,
latch onto that.
yeah. And stories are absolute all fear. We do not know how an outcome is going to happen. We can tell ourselves we shouldn't do it because it's going to turn out this way. We can do this because it's going to turn out. No, 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 no. That's control. Total control. But I love the fact that you brought in the body and how it feels. This is why, and I'm a true believer of, we need to go back to feeling our body in a deep, deep, deep way. It is the complete compass for what is fear, what feels good, what is right, what is, right for us, what is wrong for us, what is in alignment, what isn't, what is, all of the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without feeling our body and knowing how it feels and how and where we feel it, how do we navigate? Do we can you continue to be in control? Do we continue to be in fear? Do we continue to be right? Because we're not, the fear seems to be like it's so strong. Like I said, it takes over rather than allowing for that little piece of feeling body, intuition tell us yes or no, step
Yep.
forward or not, right?
Absolutely. And like I said, they feel the same. So it's about having that awareness piece too. And that's so huge because it could be excitement. It could be more of the positive scale, but our mind is so negatively tuned or trained to go to the negative right away. Like you said, what if it's a good thing? I can't even think of one right now because that's how our minds, and that's
What
part
if
of
I quit
our,
my job? What if I leave my spouse? What if I
yeah.
go home for Christmas? All of the like it's every day.
Oh, yeah. But we automatically go to, because our brains are wired that way. Our human brains are wired that way to go to the negative as part of a defense mechanism. And so it's not, what if I go home and I reconcile with my mom and we have the best relationship ever before she passes away?
Yeah.
And we go to, what if I go home and everyone's fighting and then I want to kill someone, and and that's where we go,
Allegedly.
right? Yeah, not really. I didn't really mean that.
I know.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where we go, because that's
Yeah.
what our minds are trained. And we are working against our biology on this one, because it's very much our there for our safety,
Yeah. It's
but
that. Yeah.
we've taken it so far. Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
no, that's okay. I interrupted you. It's that nervous system fight or flight. Like if our nervous system is like we're not meant to be running all the time. We're not meant to have that response for everything all the time. If we don't allow ourselves to listen and calm that down, we stay in it. It's like having sugar all the time or an addict of some kind. It's like you continually need to have that to survive, but you really don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that, what if I go home like you said, right? And you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Sit with it. Should you be or not? There's reasons why some people don't go home for Christmas. I'm just using that because Christmas is coming here. But and it's like, what are you listening to? Are you listening to the fear, or are you listening to what's for your highest good? And it's you have to be able to decipher. Like I now can finally realize, like I've been doing this for, oh gosh, it's been, I don't want to say how long, 20 years at least, that I've been that have been on this really big path of my, I call it my awakening or whatever. But I have listened. We're an empath. We're empaths, right? And I've really listened to my body, really connected, and now I can finally, um, well, I have been for a while, but finally decipher that, that, like you said, fear and excitement. Okay, now I know. Ooh, wait a minute. That's not excitement. That's my fear.
Yeah.
Now I need to self-correct. I am really like, that feeling is so much the same. And I can really tell what is, mine, what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And enable to decipher all of the language that our system tells us.
And yeah, because it is so quick to come up with, our brains want to understand what's happening to our bodies. And even with like the ascension and like the solar flares going off and stuff like that, or we just had a conversation about the full moon and that affects our bodies. And so we automatically go to, because our body feels like it's vibrating or we feel energy moving through us, our mind automatically goes to a story and it automatically picks negative. So it's like, and so it takes a lot of awareness to sit with it and go, okay, what's happening right now? And okay, my body's feeling wired for sounds like I do sometimes. And then it's like, why? Okay, the story my mind wants to go to is that it's, I'm having a heart attack or I'm going crazy or whatever. And then it's like, no, that's not my truth. And then I have to listen deeper and listen deeper. And then it's like, okay, I'm okay. There's energy moving through me. Okay, I'm going to release it. And then I can get on with my day. But it takes a lot of awareness and a lot of things to move through to get to that point where you go, okay. And it's just now that I'm realizing for me is that I'm starting to go to what my truth is first, or like very quickly. So it's moving faster than it used to. But because before it would be like a whole kind of maybe, you know, even well, before it would take days or weeks, but even like 10 minutes or something where I'd have to have like a, okay, what's really going on? And that kind of
The
thing.
10-step program.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's like, now I go, oh, okay, this is happening. And that probably means that we just had a solar flare or, whatever.
Yep.
Um, and that kind of thing. And so my body's just recalibrating to that. Okay, good. We'll move on.
Yeah.
And I don't have to go through the panicky stage of it. But again, that's that loss of control.
Yeah, yeah. And it takes time to get there, but once you get there, it's pretty and I mean it's never fear's never always gone 100%, I don't feel. I think we are presented with things to make sure that we understand that, how are you reacting, right? Are you resisting? Are you stepping in? Are you scared? Are you all of the things? But the more you are in tune with that, the quicker that like you said, the quicker you recalibrate to ask the right questions of knowing what is happening.
And I think fear is just, again, it's not the enemy,
Yeah.
it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's very much, um, you know, should I walk down? Or even, I don't even want to say that because that's with someone else, but like, if we are truly attuned to our body, then we know when we should do something or when it doesn't feel right and when we are, forcing it. And there's a reason that we shouldn't be there. Maybe we'll never know what that reason is.
Yeah.
Maybe we will, but like if we're doing something out of fear, then we're forcing it to happen. And so if we're doing it from our true feeling and knowing that, okay, just doesn't feel right to go to the store today. Maybe there's a reason.
Yeah. But
Well,
you have
there
to
is a
slow,
reason.
yeah. And you have to slow down enough to decipher that. So
Yeah,
awesome. Well, I think that's it for today.
that's a lot.
It was. It is. I would love to hear of other things that people have heard or feel that are fear, not just, worry, doubt, all of those. Because I mean, you can touch on so many things. And or even how you step through your fear. It would be cool to have people comment that. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you again, Tara. I always love our conversations.
Me too.
We will see you. Will we see you in 2 weeks? No, we will come back on when we come back on because Christmas is 2 weeks.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Very
guess
much.
it is.
Boxing or Christmas Eve will be on. I don't even know.
Uh,
I just know today's December 8th.
okay, there we
Okay.
go.
Thank you and have a beautiful day. Much love.